My name is Jason Creel, and in this video I'm going to go over the top 2 ways that I get lawn care customers, but I'm also going to talk to you about some other options because the top 2 ways I do it may not be the best way for everybody. So in total, I think we're going to cover 7 ways to get lawn care customers, including my top 2. Today's video is sponsored by Yardbook. I've been running a lawn care business, I think it's I've been using Yardbook since 2015. If you need a software to run your lawn care business, go to yardbook.com, check out the features, and sign up for a free account. Now for me in the lawn care business, typically the spring has been the best time historically for me to pick up customers. Now I might pick up an occasional straggler throughout the summer. Somebody might refer a customer to me, or maybe somebody just gets mad at their current lawn care provider and switches and finds me, which is a good thing too. But most of the time it's in the spring. And I really don't think it's close as far as the #1 way that I have generated calls for my lawn care business, and that is with my website. I know a lot of lawn care people don't have a website for their business, and a lot of them do. Some of them that have a website don't get a lot of leads off of it because it's not ranked well on the search engines. I can understand that. There's typically some investment in it, and depending on how competitive your market is, it may be difficult for you to rank your website up on Google so that you can actually generate more calls. I have made my own website before, and I've used a couple different companies. The company I'm with now is called Footbridge Media. I do have an affiliate relationship with them. So what they do your website and your SEO, which is your search engine optimization, and they just charge you a monthly fee. So where a lot of companies you may have to pay like a one-time upfront fee to build your website, which is great, but if your website's not ranking well in the search engines, then that's not going to do you a whole lot of good. At least that's my opinion. Where Footbridge Media, it's just there's no large upfront fee. It's just a flat monthly fee. At the time of this video, they charge $249 a month, but with my link they gave me, it's $199 a month. And I'll put that link in the description, or you can also go to Footbridge Media, scroll down to the bottom of their homepage, and there's a Lawn Care Life logo there. If you click on that, you can get the $199 price. Now, don't hire them just because I told you to. I've been with them for about 2.5 years now. They work with lots and lots of service industries. It's not just lawn care, and they built my website alabamalawnpros.com, so you can go check it out. But I will say in 2.5 years they've been very professional. I referred a lot of people to them, and I honestly don't know that I've gotten a complaint about them, so I've been very pleased with them. So if you're in the market, you can check them out and consider it. So that's one way to get customers. The other thing that I've done, and if you don't want to spend money, you could do this, and that is referrals. So let me tell you how that works for my business. Now obviously referrals could be I'm mowing this yard and the neighbor knows them, and they said, hey, can you mow my yard too? Yeah, they talk to their neighbor, who do you use? So that's a simple way to get referrals. But what I did when I moved into a new market, and I've shared this before, I went on Facebook in my local community, and I started searching these local Facebook groups that were for community, where people post stuff like, hey, I'm looking for a plumber, hey, what's going on the interstate, hey, stuff like that. Well, sometimes people ask, hey, who do you recommend for lawn care or for mowing grass? Well, I wasn't mowing grass, I was doing weed control and fertilization, but I would go on there and I wanted to know who is mowing grass in this town. And I started reaching out to them and building relationships, because I knew the guys that were mowing grass, those companies, were being asked, hey, who do you recommend for your weed control and fertilization, which is what I was doing. And so when they got asked, hopefully they would point them to me. So I started calling these companies and introduced myself. Some of them I went and met, had breakfast with, got to know over time. Sometimes I even had a referral relationship where I send them customers, they send me customers, whatever you want to do to work it out. But I think a lot of times they wanted a company that was local and somebody they could trust that they could send those business to. So if I was mowing grass, I would call the weed control company and say, hey, who do you send your customers to for lawn mowing? Because I get a lot of calls for mowing grass, and I don't mow grass, for my business anymore. So I know I'm sending those to these people that I have a relationship with. Of course, there's other ways to do the referral marketing. You could possibly incentivize your existing customers, give them some kind of discount if they refer you. So all those things are important. Back to the website, there's some roles that you have to that as well. So if you get to build a website, and they're going to try to get you ranked on Google, but when you get that Google My Business page listing, you start getting online reviews for your business. In my understanding, that not only helps you with ranking on the search engines, it also helps you have some credibility in the eyes of a potential customer. So if I'm searching for lawn care in my area, one company comes up, it's got 100 reviews, and one has 2 reviews, and one of them is their grandmother, you know, I don't think I'm going to go with that one, you know, usually. So there, you kind of need to build up some reviews, and you can ask your customers to help you out with that, the ones that you know are pleased with your service. So that's 2 ways, and I want to mention one that's really not on my list, but I think it's almost maybe the most important that I'm not mentioning in the 7 that I am going to mention. Those are the top 2s, but the other one, I found this to be true, especially in my community, and maybe the bigger the community, the less this happens, but the smaller, maybe more so. And that is, I really feel like your reputation goes a long way with lawn care. So if you just do excellent work and are super reliable, I do think you will pick up customers, because at the end of the day, people want to pay for quality and they want to work with somebody. So you can encourage referrals. This kind of ties in with referrals, but I think that's naturally going to happen, because what I like to see in these Facebook groups, and somebody's asked for who's going to cut the grass, who you recommend cut the grass, and if you got a bunch of people recommending one company, they typically have a reputation that's helping them. I guess I'm doing more than 7 because I just had another one come to mind. I know a lot of people go to these like networking groups, and they meet once a week, and you got one person from each trade in these networking groups. Those can be effective. I personally just don't enjoy those. You know, I just don't want to go to an hour-long meeting on Monday morning and sit around with a bunch of people and do that. So I don't do that, but I know they can be effective. So let's talk about some of the other ways that are effective that I don't really do anymore, but I have tried a lot of these. One would be direct mail. Now, a lot of the big companies are going to bombard you with direct mail, and you'll start getting it multiple times in your mailbox in the springtime, or at least I do. This can be a good way to get customers, but often, in my experience, it can be fairly expensive. Now, it's not that expensive to send a piece of mail, especially when you do some of the programs out there like the EDDM, but make sure I didn't put extra D in there. I think I just did 2 Ds. Every door direct mail. The problem is the return is not always great. So even though you might send out 50,000 of them, if you only get 5 customers, then that's not good. Now, some people obviously have a lot of success doing it because they do it year after year after year. Just understand you're probably not going to get some overwhelming return. I think you just look at it as the cost of acquisition for that customer. If the numbers make sense and you're trying to grow, it can certainly be an effective way to do so, but probably not a very cheap way to do so. And on all these, if you got a different opinion, please leave so in the comments, because you may have had a different experience than I have, which is fine. I'd love to hear from you. Another thing I used to do is postcards and door hangers, and I was literally walking through the neighborhoods, you know, pounding the pavement, if you will, and putting them on the doors. I try to do that in neighborhoods where there was people moving into the home, or you hear people maybe use the term like a 5 around. So if I'm mowing this yard, I might put some kind of advertisement on the 2 to the side of it and the 3 across the street from it, directly across the street, and then the 2 diagonal. So you could go more than 5, but you know, there's some kind of method to the madness. But you could just walk the neighborhoods, put out the cards, do it in that peak time. Again, a springtime when the weather's getting warm, people out in their yard, and you can see some return on that. Now, that may not be legal in all areas, so you need to make sure of that, and that's a lot of walking, and the return is usually not great again, but you certainly do save money if you got more time and leg strength than you do money. You could choose that method over the every door direct mail, and I do think you're probably going to get a slightly higher return, you know, per card that you put out, but again, you got to walk and put them all out yourself. Another thing on that, I'd love to hear from you guys. You know, when you do that, do you put the price on there, or do you just kind of leave it blank and try to get them to call you and then price it when they call? I like having the price on there, but then again, how do you come up with the price unless it's like a neighborhood where all the houses are fairly the same size? All right, I'm looking at my list. I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm counting the network group as one of the 7 because I wrote something else down twice. Okay, so what do we got so far? We got a website, we got referrals, we got a networking group, we got postcards and door hangers, and if I didn't mention direct mail, we're doing that too. So what else? I'm coughing like crazy. If this video has a lot of cuts in it, it's because I'm coughing after about every 3 words, as though I'm having to do a lot of editing to get the coughs out. If you thought you didn't want to watch the video now, you really wouldn't want to watch it if I was coughing as much as I am. The other 2 are 2 that I have considered and I think are maybe some of the better options, maybe besides the ones that I'm doing, maybe better than those. So these are 2 I would give strong consideration to, these last 2. One of them is purchasing customers. I know, you know, my company's not that big and I get offers, people want to buy my company and it's usually a low ball offer, but a lot of the bigger companies want to buy out and you can grow very quickly and grow in a certain area because you bought out a whole company. Now, there can be some tricky parts about that because you got to think about it. If you buy it out, the transition, how's that going to go? So you need to do some research on that. What are they actually worth? How are you going to make this transition? Are you going to pay for the customers that end up don't switching over? You know, a lot of details. But it may be worth the risk. And again, somebody can leave a comment if they've tried this on either the buying part or the selling part. But you may be able to land quite a few customers and grow significantly faster by buying somebody out. Even if you only get 70% of them, let's say, it still may be worth it depending on what it costs you. And the last thing I want to mention is paid advertising. So you're thinking about Facebook ads or Meta ads and Google ads. I know this can be very effective. You know, I've never figured it out. I've hired 1 or 2 people, not for my lawn business, more so like selling the courses I sell on my website stuff. So, I mean, I know people that are growing very fast that way. I'm not saying it's dirt cheap. It can fluctuate. But again, it's just kind of like the value of a customer. What's it cost you? And can you get your ad dialed in? And you say, you know what, is it cost me $200 per customer with the ads I'm running? Is that about what it costs? Is that worth it? And if it is, fine, do it. And just keep running if you got the budget to grow fast, knowing that the customers are going to help your business grow and make more money. If that's too much and you don't want to spend it, then you might have to take a cheaper, slower way. So it is a quick way that can work, and you can get your big company in front of a lot of eyeballs. But if you don't get it right and you're not landing the customers, it can be an expensive lesson to learn of how to, you know, spend a lot of money and not get a lot in return. Thanks for watching. If you hadn't done so, subscribe to the channel. Also go to linecarelife.com. That's where you'll find the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy if you want to get a weed control and fertilization like me. Or there's like pricing charts and other things over there as well. I'm also developing a course for Bermuda and Zoysia grasses, teach you how to take care of those. And again, if you want to check out the website company Footbridge Media, there's a link in the description, or you can go to Footbridge Media, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage and click on the Lawn Care Life button there, and you will get $50 off with that affiliate link. Thanks for watching. Leave any comments you want. We'll see you guys in the next video.